Hi there. This is Kish. Full name Kishodan Ramesh. Student number A00290504. And I'm here to present my Java project. This is a itinerary planner. So basically, we'll start with the GUI and then I'll show you a bit of the code. So here's the main landing page. So the user gets to access this, and they have four options to create a new itinerary, update, list itineraries, or just exit the program. So I'll take you to each one of them one by one. So first things first, if you click new itinerary, you'll be greeted with this window where you get to set a itinerary name. So let's call it my travel to Belgium. Let's say your location is, well, not Belgium. How about Brussels instead? We have a date. Maybe I want to go on this date, and the plan is to go to the national park. Now, when we click add plan to itinerary, we have a counter here that shows you how many objects are being saved into a linked list. So we get this pop-up message and the counter increases by one. So basically, this object that the user has created with their travel plan or their basic plan has been saved into an array list, and also that counter has been saved into a linked list as well to keep track, so that the user can see how much they've done. So let's say on the same day, we want to go to, well, actually, let's go the next day. And let's say now the plan is to go eat dinner at a fancy restaurant. Now, now if we add this plan as well, let's say that it has been added successfully. Now we have two objects. And now when we click save all to itinerary, it'll say all itineraries have been saved to mytravel.belgium.txt successfully. So now if we click OK and we exit here, we get to basically see our itinerary. So first things first, we can go to update itinerary. Here we get to load an itinerary and make changes to it. So basically, in my case, I've just kept it in the same project folder. So as you can see, this is my project folder, and we can see my travel to belgium.txt, and this is how it looks like. So basically, when the user hits the save all on the new itinerary button, what happens is it takes every object in the linked list and iterates through them and appends them to one another, and then saves it all overall into a text file. And this, it basically turns the objects into an entire text file, which is the functionality. So here we have full update functionality. So instead of a fancy restaurant, let's go to a instead of actually go eat dinner, let's say go to the theater instead. And now we can click save itinerary, and now it's been saved successfully. And now it basically, you have modified the itinerary. Now when we click list itineraries here, we get actually a selection of only the itineraries that you have created. So I have some test itineraries here, and this is the one that I just created, which is my travel to Belgium. Now if we click this one and we click open, we get to see, oh, okay, so this is the itinerary. As you can see, we updated it and now it's saved as a newly updated version. We can of course delete the itineraries. Let's say I have this random itinerary here that I don't want. You can click delete, the file has been deleted, so Java will delete the file, and now you see it doesn't exist anymore. And finally, we can just cancel out this, and that's basically the entire itinerary system. And if we click exit, it'll just exit out of the program. Now, past that, let's take a look at some of the code for this. So essentially, I have a bunch of Java classes here, main class just to run the file, and a whole lot of others, but I'll go through them and the basic functionality one by one. So first things first, this is the main class, just to run the actual itinerary pane. Secondly, this is the itinerary main page. So here is where our greeting, our landing pages, and we basically initialize the entire GUI. We have a bunch of action performs, which basically just takes you to the different Java classes like create itinerary or update itinerary, and just opens up new panes every time you click a different button. That's pretty much it. So here we have the list itineraries view. In this file, this is where you can select the itinerary to view it, and it basically just use a get selected file here, and it also has a try catch to make sure that you are actually opening a file and you're not not opening a file. So yeah, and then we have a cancel button, we have a delete button, and just say J option pane if there's no itineraries. Next, we have a controller. This is our encapsulation, aggregation, and also a bit of inheritance between the controller and the save objects, where we extend the controller. So also for the core functionalities of the project, between controller.java and saved-object.java, we basically covered all of the core functionalities. We have encapsulation, aggregation over here, and then here we have inheritance and also the use of linked lists over here, which I will cover soon. But the controllers is nothing special. It's basically just a getter and setter to create the plan objects. And we basically save the plan objects, and when we hit the append button or when we hit the save button, we iterate through the objects and append them all together to generate a itinerary for the user essentially. Yeah, so we just have a bunch of getters and setters, and we also have a to file and a to string. This is to save it to a text file. Next, we have a create itinerary.java. This is our function to actually create an itinerary. So we have the GUI initialization here, and then we basically this is the functionality to add and remove and set the itinerary. Where we basically, if you can successfully add the itinerary, it'll say it's added successfully. If not, if there's any errors such as blank fields or anything that can be caught, we say please fill in all fields. Over here, it's just the action listener for the button where we want to enter the file name. This is the top column in the actual itinerary main page itself, where you can put in the file name before you start working on anything. And then finally here we use the file writer method to basically save it as a .txt and append everything. So we set this as true. Other than that, we have all itineraries are saved. This is the pop-up menu and the show message dialog, and then we have a exception handling over here. Finally, we have update itinerary, where you get to select an itinerary and update it. So here's the GUI initialization. Then we have our load itinerary button and a save itinerary. This is where we add an action listener to load the text file, and once you make your changes, you can hit the save, and this action listener listen to it and essentially save the file. And this is the selection method, where it opens a file chooser. So file chooser is a Java library that opens up your Finder if you're on a Mac, or a File Explorer if you're on a Windows device. And you basically get to select your itinerary, make changes, and then save it. And these are just a bunch of try catches. Okay, so and finally we have saved objects. So this linked list over here is set to basically store every single object that is created by the user. So it's a very good feature to see to help the user see how many objects they have and track all of their travel plans. And we basically can, when we hit the saved objects button and create a new itinerary, they know exactly how many plans are going to be appended into that text file. And that's basically the functionality here. Of course, this is using inheritance to inherit by the controller, so that we can use this method in a bunch of other classes as well. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for listening to my project, and goodbye.